Hello, happy Mailbox Money Monday. Another day, another mailbox money. Hi, Cass. If you're new here, the series is called Mailbox Money Monday, where I go through the mailbox money that I received for the week and we bring in some funky, cute, fresh, intuitive downloads or lived wisdom and experiences from the past week as well. If you're new here, number one, hi, welcome. My name is Alyssa Simpson. I'm a mindset and manifestation mentor, and I help women unapologetically and loudly claim their desire to be rich as fuck, but, in a very restful and receiving way, because we do not do hustle, burnout, pick another strategy, pick another course, pick another branding, pick another business opportunity. We do things in the way that we are naturally meant to do them in our feminine energy so that we can honestly live life to the fucking fullest in the most abundant and magnetic way. Every Monday, I go through all of the mailbox money that I received for the week. Now, mailbox money is a vehicle that I and thousands of other people have tapped into, where you literally get to apply yourself tried and true system that has been around for over 50 years, where you just get to plug in and restfully receive. It is December 29th as I am tuning in live on this beautiful Monday, and I decided to take the last 3 weeks off in December because I really wanted to just reflect on this year, because it's been a really big one for me. I birthed an entire human this year. There has been not only a physical birth of my son, but also a huge rebirth of myself. And I'm still currently going through it. I think I'm at the tail end of it here. But we honestly, for the past 3 weeks, I have felt like someone has had a voodoo doll of me. And I'm just when are they going to stop shoving fucking needles in me? Because it is wild, the amount of things that have happened, and we're going to get into it. Before, the reason I'm sharing this is because of mailbox money, I literally get to focus on just bettering myself, bettering the people around me, really implementing what I desire to have and bring into the new year and every single day of my life. Honestly, I live the most slowest and intentional life that I've ever lived in my 32 years of life. And I've always wanted this. I've always wanted to just live intentionally, slowly. I don't want to know what day it is, what time it is. I don't want to know what the new trend is, what is happening in another city, let alone another country. I don't care. I am not here on this planet to live anyone else's reality but my own. And surprise, you get to create your own reality. I am creating my own reality, and being a part of Mailbox Money is just one very little sliver of how I'm able to tap into things that are meant for me, that are also allowing me to receive riches in a very restful way. So mailbox money is exactly that. It's money that comes in my mailbox. Sometimes multiple times a week, sometimes every day, sometimes once a week. So every week I'm going to just do a little recap of what we received since I've last spoken to you. So this is video number 2 of our series. There are other people inside of Mailbox Money. Like I said, there's thousands of people inside of Mailbox Money. When I first joined, there was a little over 200, and now there's over 1,000 people. And I joined in July of this year. So however many months that is now, we're at the end of December, it's more than doubled, right? It has more than doubled since I've joined. And my skeptical, it's too good to be true husband joined and has also been restfully receiving as well. He does not have social media. He does not do entrepreneurship. He does not do any of this stuff. He's a blue collar man. And he just was like, hey, I see what you're able to do. I want to get a piece of that pie. And he's been able to receive restfully as well. What I like to tell people too, and this might actually scare some people away, but if it's meant for you, it's always going to find you, and you're going to feel that nudge inside of you to join and ask questions and see if it's truly aligned for you. But how I like to describe it is, it's like you got to buy a lottery ticket that you knew was a fucking winner. You knew you were going to be guaranteed money from buying that ticket. That's exactly what Mailbox Money is. There is not a single person in our community of over 1,000 people who has not received income from this stream. I have tons of other videos here on my channel for you to go and look and peep around and kind of see what we're talking about. You can apply in the link in the description to learn more about Mailbox Money if you so desire to see if it's aligned for you. And yeah, let's get into what we have received for. Okay, so we have $149, have a 115 here, a 265 here. Honestly, like, checks are so fun. I don't think I would have as much fun in like a cute little hit of dopamine every time I open these checks if it was like just direct deposit. I like that they come in a old-fashioned check. 351. That's like almost $900, like 880 if my math is right. Don't trust it, because I went to public school and do not know fast math. There are people who are inside of Mailbox Money who are having $50,000 days, who are having $100,000 months, right? Like, there is an uncapped potential to receive inside of this vehicle. So if you are just even interested to see what it is that we're doing, please apply using the link below and we can chat more on another line, okay? So what I do want to share with you all this past week, oh my goodness, so much has been going on, right? Like, I truly felt like I said, if someone has my voodoo doll and they're just stabbing it over and over and over and over and over again. But what really is happening is, if you are aware, we are moving into a number 1 year numerologically. Okay, so we are ending a year 9. We are going into a year 1 in 2026. A year 9 is all about shedding. So you see a lot of people who are talking about, oh my God, this is like one of my hardest years I've ever had. Like, it's been so crazy. That's not a coincidence. That is literally like the cycle that we are in. And energetically speaking, what is happening in a year 9 is you truly are, it's almost like all the things that you said you wanted to get rid of in a 9-year period, whatever you still have hanging on and left over, the universe is like, I got you, I'm gonna handle it for you. Now, the universe obviously acts on free will, so it's never going to intervene without your okay. But what is going to happen is the things that you are desiring, they also don't get handed to you on a silver platter, right? So if you're desiring to be, for me, it's very much so in my feminine energy, restful, receiving energy, surrendering. Like, that is what I feel like 2025 has been all about for me. And a lot of that has happened. So much so that even so, I have released 55 pounds pre-pregnancy without diet, without exercise. Truly, the last 7, 8, 9 years of my life, I've been carrying on this extra energetic weight because it, number 1, was keeping me safe, because when your body is in constant stress, chronic stress, like your body retains what it needs to keep you alive. And after I had my son, which I've talked about this on my podcast, I feel like there's a few videos here that I've talked about it, but I truly do feel like a huge part of me died in that room. Like, it truly did feel like something left me. Obviously my son did, but like on an energetic level, it was it was wild. And I think that was the start of my releasing the 55 pounds, and without diet, without exercise. Now, I have been talking to Source and talking to the universe and saying, like, I want to be in this era of my life. Like, I am meant to be that, you know? I am also meant to be wealthy and abundant as fuck. And I know that there is a reality that I have got to align with. I'm already wealthy and abundant as fuck, but I want to do it in a restful, receiving, feminine way. I'm tired of the hustle, the blah, blah, blah. Like, and I think also too, like, having a son has really made me realize, like, I need to be in my feminine energy so that he can be in his masculine energy and grow up to understand what that dynamic is like, you know? And of course, my husband is very much so in his masculine energy, but there's a different dynamic whenever you're a business owner, especially whenever you work from home, because it's like you're in the same walls that you are wifing and mothering, but also boss babe bitching too. So it's a really weird energetic distinction of like shifting between the roles that you are. But now that I'm a mom, there is so much more of a desire to just like fucking be barefoot in the kitchen, making everything from scratch, you know, receiving restfully, just, and not all those things don't make you feminine, but for me, like, that is like, to me, like my feminine energy, right? Like, I don't need to be looking at analytics and fucking ad campaigns and fucking branding and trends, and I don't even want to be on my fucking phone. Like, I don't even want to tap into social media at all. Like, this, me talking and on a platform that I know is going to live forever, and like you can hear me speak forever, that is so much more in alignment with me being in my feminine energy. Now, what the universe has done for me is truly, truly, truly allowed me to kind of work out all the sticky shit through the 9 years, especially through this 9th year. And we're at the very tail end, and everything literally came to a head. It was literally 6 or 7 days in a row where something new was happening, and I was like, I don't know who has my voodoo doll. Like, what the fuck is going on? And every time something new would happen, I literally had the instant feeling of, this is happening for me. Because it is. Everything that happens in our life is happening for us, not to us. If you feel like something is happening to you, that is a victim ass mentality, and you got to switch out of that, or else you're never going to be receiving in an abundant way. People who live in victimhood are not abundant, period. Both of those things cannot exist in the same fucking breath. So if you think for a second anything is happening in your life to you, you are blocking abundance right at the fucking gate. So stop that. And it is really hard, trust me, it's very hard to shift into that mindset of, this is happening for me, when you're in the thick of it. But I guarantee anything that you have overcome in your life, if you look back at it now, you're like, that shaped me who I am. I'm so thankful for that event, as traumatic and horrible and awful as it was meant to happen the way that it was so that you could be the person you are today with it. Everything we go through in life is that, every single thing. And if you're listening to this and you've never heard my story before, I lost both of my parents 7 years ago now, within 6 months of each other. My dad died from a long line of alcohol abuse, and there was like a couple of crazy things that happened that kind of made the alcohol in his body just like really mess it up. I'd have a whole podcast episode on it. And then 6 months later, my mom took her life because she literally couldn't, she had no emotional and spiritual intelligence to deal with losing her husband in the way that she lost him. And I was 25 years old. And that is such a big part of my story, because what that did was it lit a fire under my ass to start living for a living, because life is too fragile and too precious and too goddamn short for us to just pretend like it's just another day, or keep manifesting things in the future. Like, when I'm 65, then I'll retire and then I'll be living the life. Why can't you do that now? You can. Society has told you otherwise. The whole part of what I do as a coach and mentor is we unlearn all the bullshit. We become the version of ourselves who live in that reality where everything we ever desire is here, alive, now, and well. With that being said, I'm not going to get into the details of what all has happened. I will share like little cliff notes, if you will. There have been relationships fall out. Very close relationships of mine fall out. I got into a car accident, not a crazy one, but it was one of those things where my car is one of the things that I love so much, because I really love being in my car. I love driving. It's like the car that I always wanted when I was a kid. Just so big and spacious and comfy and cozy and like all the bells and whistles. And I got into an accident and I had my son with me in the car, and it was like, oh my God, what the hell? And then I also had an issue with a client of mine, and I had an issue with some income, and it was like all of these things, literally back to back to back to back to back. And all of these things have shown me so much about myself that I cannot take with me into 2026. So yes, other people and other things were involved, but it shone a light on me where I was like, oh my gosh, I really don't like that about myself. And this version of me is also going to die along with the other versions of me that have died in 2025. One of those being that I have done such a job of making sure that everyone else is comfortable, that everyone else is happy, that everyone else feels good at the sake of my own safety, happiness, feel goodness. I am not responsible for anyone else's fucking emotions, and neither are you. You are not responsible for how people respond to you. So if someone responds negatively to you, that does not mean you should have done, said, or something different, unless you were a total asshole, which please have the self-awareness to know if you were being a fucking asshole. But being an asshole doesn't mean standing up for yourself. Like, standing up for yourself and holding your boundaries and protecting your peace, that's not you being an asshole. And if someone thinks you're being an asshole because of that, that says way more about their benefit in the relationship than yours and who you are as a person. But just know that you are responsible for you and your own. No one else is going to make you feel the way that you deserve to feel other than yourself. And it has to start there. So you look at these people that have really great relationships, right? And you're like, oh my gosh, I wish my relationships were like that. Look at each party. Do they each respect themselves? Do they each love themselves? Do they each care for themselves? Because if there's lacking in one area, they're getting that from the other person, right? A great example is my husband and I. We've been together for almost 12 years. That's not true. He's gonna say, oh my God. We just went past our 11th year together. Our wedding anniversary is coming up in a few weeks. And our relationship when it was year 1 and 2, vastly different from what our relationship is now, because we have grown so much as individuals. So our relationship is stronger. The foundation of every relationship, not just romantic ones, friendships, family relationships, peer relationships, they all start at the foundation, and that foundation is you. What are you bringing to the table? Is it self-love, self-respect, self-awareness, self-trust? That has to be the foundation. And the same for the other person. It's not what they can do for you. It's what can they do for themselves. Because whatever they cannot do for themselves, they're going to leak out of you. Period, right? I used to be so anxious and so worried. Like, it was nuts, y'all. Like, I literally had panic attacks so much about like the wildest things. Like, now those things could happen and I'm like, it's another fucking day. Like, that does not affect me like it used to. And when I was so anxious and nervous and all these things, I really was not the best partner for my husband. He wasn't my husband at the time. I wasn't the best friend for my friends. I wasn't the best daughter. I wasn't the best sister. I wasn't the best employee, because I was not taking care of myself. So when you have fallouts in relationships, when you have fallouts with clients or business partners or family members or whatever, it's because the dynamic has shifted more so than not. And if that dynamic shifts, it becomes an opportunity for you to look at, what role do you play in it, right? Are you the one leaking, or are you the one being leaked? Okay. Either one is not healthy. Like, either one should be addressed, but it has to be addressed with you, right? I realized that there was a lot of not a lot, that's crazy. There were a few relationships in my life where I was allowing people to take advantage of my niceness. And another thing that I'm learning about myself is like, my niceness is not mistaken for weakness. And when it does get mistaken for weakness, that is a boundary that has been crossed that I will have to reinsert. And the thing about boundaries too, is we hear about those all the time now, right? It's fucking therapist talk 101. It's set boundaries, blah, blah, blah. Yes, but also those boundaries have to make sense for you, right? Like, if they stress you out and make you feel anxious and they aren't really productive and they're causing more drama, then is it really a boundary, or is it something else going on? That's a whole nother topic for a whole nother video that we will get into. Because also I feel like people use boundaries as an excuse to be a shitty fucking person, and I don't rock with that either. You have to be able to lay your head down at night and think that you are doing a really fantastic job for yourself, and not that you're doing it from a vindictive place, a manipulative place, a dishonest place. Like, it has to come from a genuine, like, this is what brings me peace. Because the second it doesn't bring you peace, it's not really a fucking boundary. You're doing like a weird power struggle with whoever you're power struggling with, okay? So all of these things have been happening for me, and it has shown me so much of what I cannot take with me into 2026. And because it's a year 1 for the collective, right, for all of us, I also had to look at what number I'm on, like, personally, because we each have our own personal numerology number that we're on. I am in my year 8, so 8 plus 1. It's a very funky, weird, awesome, abundant, intuitive time for me. And so knowing that, having the wherewithal of that, and also before like I looked into any of this to like know for sure what was happening, I could feel it in my soul, because I have a very strong intuition and I have a very strong connection with source, to where I know that anytime crazy, wild things are happening to me, an up level is on the other side. Because you cannot take the version of you who has dealt with all this crummy bullshit nonsense drama. That version of you cannot hold this next chapter for you, because if they could, that next chapter would already be here. This is what we talk about when we talk about embodiment. You have to become the version of you who is restfully receiving, in their feminine energy, wildly abundant, in living in overflow, healthy as fuck, all these things, blah, blah, blah. You have to be the version of them first before the actual things happen. There is no such thing as instant gratification, but we are obsessed with it as a society. When you think that you are deserve something because you've been doing it for X amount of years, or you've worked so hard, blood, sweat, tears have gone into it, that's a ass backwards way of thinking, because all of that is just busy work. All that time has passed is just fucking time, right? Like, who have you become in that time or during the blood, sweat, and tears that is in alignment with the version of you that you need to be in order to receive what it is you desire to receive? The universe is patiently waiting to deliver you all of your wildest dreams. And the only reason that it's not here now is because you have not made the shift to becoming the version of you who can hold all of it. This is why some people manifest better than others. It's because they just get there quicker. They get to the version of themselves they need to be quicker. And I will tell you one thing, it is uncomfortable as shit. If I was going through what I'm going through now, even fucking 2 years ago, I would not be as steady and even keel and honestly content and peaceful as I am right now. I would still be spiraling. I'd probably be in tears. I'd be telling all my friends and family about all these things that have happened to me. I'd be asking, like, what did I do to deserve this? But I'm not. I'm just like, okay, cool. Like, this is just another thing we had to check off. Was it uncomfortable? Abso-fucking-lutely. It's not even fully done yet, right? Like, I'm still in the middle of it, but we are shedding, we are releasing, we are stepping into another version. And that means we got to shed. There's growing pains that happen, and growing pains are called pains for a reason. They're not called growing eases, right? Growing feel goods for a reason. And you got to stop fighting it. You've got to stop fighting it and just fucking surrender. That's the goal. That's the vibe. I know that you can do this, and I know that you're capable of this. And this is exactly why I've created Restfully Rich. It is a new program. It is not like your normal coaching container at all, in the slightest. It is being led from feminine energy. It is being led from an intuitive place. It is inviting you to do the same, because we're not doing meet here at this time, at this day, to hop on this Zoom call, to get some homework, to implement. No. This is so much different than anything that is on the market in the coaching world right now, because going into 2026, we've got to do things differently in order to receive differently. And we cannot receive in a feminine, abundant, overflow way operating in our masculine. So if you want to become restfully rich, the application is in the show notes for you to apply now. I'm only accepting a very small group of women into this container. So if this, even for a second, feels like something you've got to check out, that is your intuition nudging you in the right direction, okay? Mailbox Money is alive and well. We are receiving all the time. You just got to tap into that receiving avenue. If you need more, the link to apply is in the show notes as well. And I can't wait to see you guys next week. Bye.